Hello, I'm Harley Watt. I'm one of the lead volunteer coordinators at Pets Corner in Longford Park in Chiltern. Pets Corner was founded by volunteers in 2015. Originally, there were lots of Pets Corners all around parks in Manchester, but unfortunately, funding was cut to these by the council. And so a group of volunteers stepped up to take over the running and maintenance and care of the animals in Pets Corner. And since then, we've been running entirely off donations from the public and people from the community volunteering their time.
So I started volunteering with Pets Corner about 2 years ago when I had some free time with my work. And I found it a really enjoyable experience going down once or twice a week. I work as a doctor, so I have a lot of stressful work, night shifts, things like that, and I found it really relaxing and kind of grounding to go and kind of look after the animals, spend time with them. How I first got into Pets Corner was I lived in the area and used to go and visit, and one of the animals, coincidentally, is called Dolores, which is the name of my mum. So I sponsored that animal, and that's what kind of started me off feeling like coming down to Pets Corner. And I think now, since I've been there kind of a couple of years, I think both Dolores and Victoria, the two older hens, have become my favourites. I really like their laid back kind of attitude, and the fact that I don't think anyone really knows how old they are, because I think they're older than Pets Corner itself. We also have our ducks at Pets Corner, which they're very cute. Often spend a lot of time trying to herd them back into their shelter at the end of the night. They all have minds of their own, so they're very chatty. And we have our new cockerels as well that we saved from a local primary school was doing an experiment about hatching eggs, and two of the eggs that hatched ended up being cockerels, and they didn't know what to do with them, so we said we'd take over, and now they look after the hens in both the silkies and our other chickens. As well as our goats, Frodo and Gandalf, who I think is what Pets Corner is most famous for, is the two goats. It's actually very rare that any kind of animal farms have goats. You have to get a special license, and goats have to be registered. So we have Gandalf is a smaller pygmy goat with kind of curved horns, and Frodo is the bigger goat. I think he's half pygmy, half normal goat, which is why he's a bit bigger. Like when I started working, it was a nice activity to do outside of my work as a doctor, that I could kind of go, switch off. It was very grounding, interacting with the animals. I think it's understated what a role that can play for you when you've had a really busy, stressful day at work, or come off a night shift and you're feeling a little bit kind of untethered, going and doing something in the community where you're giving back, and that's outside of your work and your role as a doctor. Having that kind of weekly thing to go down to is really good for my well-being, and you kind of build up a relationship with the animals and they start to recognise you. I didn't believe it at the beginning, but now I have a lot more kind of interaction with the goats, and I'll come in with a group of other people who'll be visiting, and the goats always come up to the fence because they know me as someone who is there to feed them. You learn more about their personalities, and it gives you a better understanding about animals and what an important role they kind of play for us and our connections with them as well.